Hey guys, long time no see, huh? Yeah. Um, Before I give you another walkthrough here, and yeah, there are a lot of changes made, but I just want to let everybody know that really, this video thing, kind of losing interest in it. Really, uh, I've been doing other stuff. I've mentioned before, kind of as an aside, that I am an artist, and kind of, I don't know, broadening the, I, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, I went from taking pictures, and I still do take some from time to time, to my 3D work, and I've been kind of doing that off and on. But I've gotten back into drawing, and eventually I want to get into scale model building again. This time I want to try out some vinyl figures. You can get that stuff out of Japan. Um, you probably don't know this if all you do is watch my videos. I'm really into manga and anime. So, ever since I was in high school, I was really into that, and that we're talking 20 years ago. And it's really been a huge influence on my art too. But if I get around to it, I know I keep saying this. If I get around to it, I'll eventually put together a video of maybe some of my artwork. You know, uh, just something I would like to share with you all, but it's just right now YouTube really isn't a big part of me anymore. Um, I'm not saying I'm calling it quits, but yeah, it's just the interest is waning, and like I said, I have other things going on, a lot of art things going on, but I'm gonna walk you through here, give you some updates, and yeah, I think that's about it, really. But I'll start over here with the philodendron. I mentioned this earlier in our previous video. If you want something really nice to grow, really easy to grow, try out a philodendron. This guy is almost a year old. And I just kind of walk in over here. If he's doing well. See, I had an ant problem in here. They really weren't affecting the plant, but I guess they were moving the colony. And I resorted to Spectracide to really get rid of them. I kind of sprayed a little bit in here, and I sprayed the whole trail down to where they were coming from. Really, I just want to kind of get them out of the way because they have harmed my plants before. I'm not sure if philodendrons are prone to aphids or whatever, but if you have an ant colony in your plant, they're gonna bring aphids along, and of course they milk the aphids, and the aphids will just destroy your plant. I got 2 coleus out front that died because of that. It just overwhelmed them. It tried everything that I could think of, and they still died off. Well, they were about a year old anyway. But got my 4 rather large spider plants in there. I'm going to transplant them. I ran out of pots again. 3 aloes from an earlier video. So is that one. What really surprises me here is my purple sage is still kicking. They didn't look so well last month. Yeah, I have my irrigation running right now. It's been dry the past couple of days. That's another interesting thing to note, is I've been talking about drought for months and months and months. Well, we broke our drought in July. Our total rainfall was just over 9 inches. And we got 11.5 inches for August, so we finally broke the drought. But it's September now. By the end of September, no more rain. So, kind of It kind of sucks, really, but it's good that I have this irrigation system going. And you know, I'm just I was walking through here making sure everything that was supposed to get water is getting water, and everything is doing really well. But over here I have 2 sunflowers. They're about ready to transplant. I just wait until let's see. Yeah, there are roots. They're just starting to come out the bottom. And over here, check these guys out. I got 2 more squash going up. These are acorn squash. These seeds were not store-bought, but you know, I bought some acorn squash and I pulled a bunch of seeds out and I just planted them up. And they're going up rather nice. I'm going to leave them in here because these guys really get shocked easily if you move them. In this corner over here is a watermelon that's just kind of sitting there. I don't know what he's going to do, so I'm going to leave him. I'll leave him be. This is my newer pepper plant. Honestly, I don't remember if this was a bell pepper or not. I had trouble starting the banana peppers this year. I think the seeds just kind of went, you know. So I think this is a bell pepper. I don't remember the color. See, it's either going to be yellow or really well green. You know, if you let green one sit and ripen, it'll turn red. So it's gonna be one of those 2. And I don't know what this is. My roommate bought this when we first moved in here about 5 years ago. This was an indoor plant the entire time, but really, sorry about the wind. It really started to get unhappy for a while there. I mean, I left it by the window, but still it was kind of like saying, you know, I like it a little warmer. So I replanted it and I put it out here a couple of months ago, and it's doing great now. It's doing fantastic. So I might leave it out here, I might bring it back inside, I'm not sure. This here is a couple of daisies that I started early in the year. They were in one of my hanging baskets. Well, let's put it this way. There are probably a dozen of them in there, and the basket is probably no bigger than this pot here. So, yeah, I figured I better move some. Because of my coleus that I lost in the front, they're being replaced by these guys. I have another one, well, another set, pardon me, out front. So that's probably going to go out there today. And we've got 2 spider plants over here. What I did with this guy, and this is getting shoots off of it every week, I let a shoot go for about 3 weeks or so, and then I pulled off the 4 best heads that I saw off of there. These spider plants are great. This is another great plant that's easy to grow and propagate. You know, they get these little shoots and they'll flower, and what eventually you're going to get are little baby spider plants out of there, and they sprout little nodules in the bottom. You just put them in soil and you know, they'll usually take, and then give it a year or 2 and you have nice spider plants, you know. My blanket flower is still kicking. Thank you to Praxis for talking about his hot sauce spray mixture, you know, for insects. What I did was I took some Texas Pete's hot wing sauce. It's really thick, but it's really hot. So I followed his formula, instead using Texas Pete's hot sauce. And 2 treatments on this, and no ants, no aphids. It's still kind of showing some wear and tear, but yeah, a lot of that was damaged from the past month or 2 because I was just having so many problems with these ants. These ants, they come up from, you know, from over here, and you know, especially after the rain, you know, they get drowned out. They'll come up and they're like, oh man, you know, there's all kinds of nutrients up in here, because I got my bucket here, which is doing really well. And there's a couple of ants left. Yeah, you can see them. They just go right in the bottom there and they just start chowing away. So, you know, as long as they're not harming it, I really don't mind. But if they're messing up with my plants, and I kind of say no. So this guy, I admit I've been lazy with him. He just kind of sits in the corner. He's still there, still flowers a little bit, but we really have to trim off the spent ends so that it can grow more flowers. And it's getting windy out here. And of course there's my papa. To note, I did pull some pups out of there, but they were rather large. What I have to what I have to look into is when people asking if they could have some of my little shoots. What I have to look into is the laws around here. Florida is an agriculture state, and the state is really strict on exporting plants. So I have to look into whether I'm even allowed to ship plants outside of the state. I just don't know, and I don't want to be breaking any laws. You know what I'm saying? So be patient. I will look into it. I'll have to write it down so I don't forget. But yeah, really, that's what's holding me up right now. I had some pups out front too, and I pulled them out, and I ended up throwing them away. It's like, it's a shame, but but definitely if you're in the state and you want to do an exchange or something, or you just want to take some of them, have at it. I think somebody sent me a message last year from Jacksonville, and I forgot all about it. I'm sorry about that. If you're in the state of Florida, you want some of my little pups, and have at it. I have no need to sell them. I end up throwing them away. It's just a waste. But he's doing really well. I'm really happy with him, and he is very happy. I had a problem over here. Let me show you this right here. I mentioned this earlier too, that there are no gutters in this damn building. What happens is water spouts right out through there. A couple of weeks ago we had a really bad storm. We got over 4 inches in about 40 minutes. That was hardcore. This whole area was flooded out to the point where I fixed this stuff here, but down here where the posts go into the ground, I actually lost ground there. I lost about 3 inches of depth on both ends. It was hardcore rain. Now, I hadn't seen anything like that in a long time, but we made it through. I lost power for a couple of hours, and whatever. But these are the 4 shoots that I pulled off of the twin spider plants that I have in the corner, and I think they're going to put them here about a week ago. So yeah, they should take a while, but as long as you keep them watered, they'll do fine. Let me shut this off real quick. This incidentally came from Harbor Freight, and it's really cheap. It's part of a set. Really, really nice. It's served me 2 years, and it's great. So yeah, there's more daisies over there. There's just a ton of them. So here's my other pepper plant, and it's doing rather well. The top leaves seem a little rubbery and shriveled, so I'm concerned about that. I'm not sure if it's being affected by nematodes. It doesn't look weak. It just looks like maybe it's just still a little bit too hot out here for it. But I got a funny story here. I had a little tomato seedling that I transplanted into here to start it up, because this guy, I'm going to consider him done. I trimmed it back, and I don't know, it's the same thing. These leaves are shriveled and rubbery. I don't know if it's nematodes or if it's just a little bit too hot out and stressed, but I'm going to cut it back all the way. And what's going to go in here is probably another tomato. I'm not going to reuse this soil. I think it's already been reused once, even with my compost. I had a big problem with nematodes. which is how this went into play here. The water from the corner was spouting down, and it was flooding this whole area. And I started some radishes in here, and they didn't go anywhere. I started some beets, and they didn't go anywhere. I tried some other stuff, and some of my soil got contaminated, and I actually lost a couple of seedlings due to nematode damage. It's a really big problem here in Florida. They like sandy soil, and you just really can't avoid the sand around here. The whole damn place is a sandbar. My strawberries kind of come and go. There's a lot of little fruit on there, but I'm still having this problem where they rot before they ripen. So again, it's just, a lot of it's the weather. Anything out here that's tropical and green is doing really well, and everything else is kind of getting stressed out. Although, like I said, with these guys, I'm a little concerned because they're supposed to like the hot weather. The other thing to note is that they came from store-bought peppers. It was the same thing. I harvested the seeds, let them dry out a little bit, and then a couple weeks later plant them and see what happens. Ooh, this thing's hitting red. But I'm almost done anyway. So, he's doing really well too. He had an ant problem too. But anyway, I don't know when this is going to conk out, but again, if you're in the Florida area, really if you're within a couple of hours from me, so I'm between Ocala and Orlando, if you want some pups, we can arrange something. Not a big deal. Thank you all for subscribing, watching, and whatnot. I'm still getting subscribers. I'm impressed by that, even though I've been kind of dragging my heels around here. And again, I promise one day I'll put up some videos on my artwork. Maybe I'll do a little segment and just talk about it for a little bit, because I haven't done that either. But yeah, this is about it. And everything, well, basically everything tropical is doing really well out here, and the other stuff is kind of scraping by. Give it another month and that'll be, bang, we'll be in our sweet spot, late September, early October. Really good sweet spot around here for growing. But anyway, I am signing off.